Hello, everyone. I'm coming back with just talking to be talking. That's all we seem to do is just talk. It's what's getting wrong. What is getting done? I'm gonna go share some videos that I was looking at, and I'm telling you, tell me what you think. As the subject says, build back better. And that's exactly what we need to do. We need to start building back these neighborhoods. And I'm gonna take a look at how we living, how some people is living. Literally, is okay with it. This right here, it's Gary, Indiana. And I'm like, why are neighborhoods like that? And I'm gonna tell you something. Why do you want to let somebody give somebody the okay to build it up, tear it down and build it up better? I believe those immigrants, all that money that the administration is spending on terrorizing the immigrants and sending them all over the country and all over the world. Some of that money could have been used to build up these neighborhoods. I am sure that these immigrants would love move into these neighborhoods and build up these buildings. I bet you they would have it looking good in no time. But you know what? These white people will get mad and get upset and hate because they have a narrative that they have to keep going in their head. That's the only way they feel good about themselves. Is to look at stuff like this, to live like that. That's why you have the Bible, good versus evil. And this is exactly what you have right here on earth. Good versus evil. The axis of evil, remember that? Even though we have killed more people than anybody on the planet, they have killed more people than anybody on the planet. Dropped nuclear bombs and poisoned people. And they gonna call somebody the axis of evil. Bush. And then you see that. Now I'm gonna talk about our brothers. This is what we have to look to deal with. These black men out here. Why you not advocating cleaning up this neighborhood so you and your kids can live decently? They can do it. They can put up enough money to go buy weed and liquor, or get money together to buy trash bags and hire a dumpster to clean up this mess. Advocate for so-called councilmen and councilwomen and leaders to help you. They won't do that. And I know how they is. I have seen them up close. Trash dumpster to be overflowing. Trash everywhere. Do you think those black kids that live in that building is going to get out there and come together and clean it up? No. No, they're not going to do it. I don't know why. set us in a trap, and we fall for it. Now, I don't know what day it is. I don't know if it's weekend and maybe they not working, but we ain't got time to figure it out. And you remember 100 or so years ago, they could walk the street and just sitting around doing nothing. And I know it's a lot of people out here that would think people do that. They ain't got time to sit around. Nothing. How bad it is. Now, if it gets higher, racist criminals like that, keep a day. Now, when we said that in the 80s, we didn't know about security at first. We said they weren't trying to put black folks back into the field. It's here. It's here now. We gotta help our fellow.
Baby, she been boiling back.
Now, we never like that. Our living like this. We didn't live this bad, but you see it's getting worse. What is it gonna be like 20 years from now? Is any of these people living for the future? They got plenty of corner stores. Guys is at market. We have to plan better. I don't know what the schools look like. And now you know these cities did not used to look like this. What happened was, black man and black woman got weaker from drugs and alcohol and systematic racism. So then it got weaker. They're not fighting no more. They just laying back. What's that? Bad attitude. Why are you living like this? I wish I could see the before and after, because that just happened to a lot of people. In some places it happened. But where I grew up at, I could go there right now and it still looked the same. Not totally, because they cut down a lot of trees. But see, we sat there and let them do it. We don't have the apple trees and the pear trees and all that. They all gone. The blueberries. Used to walk down the street, be able to pick blueberries. All that's gone. But the neighborhood, the homes are still pretty much the same, except for some cosmetics. The school I went to is not there. I mean, it's there, but it's turned into some other kind of school. And they done did something with the road. But a lot of these places, parents, grandparents, they lived in these homes. They took care of these homes. But then when the great grandparents started dying off or retiring, this was replaced with criminal, weak-minded men and women that's having children they're not capable of taking care of. They're not waiting till they get in their 30s before they get married and have kids. They're having kids at 15. And then you have dysfunctional families. This is what we're headed. And they sitting back, laughing, getting rich off our oppression. Okay? Pitiful. You know the thing. What happens when you're not at work or at school? What are they going to do? What do they have to
from the side, you know. But, yeah, see, it's a lot more than the shit that y'all know. You can't record from every angle. If I was coming from the other way, I could record, but you know, I'm straight right now though, at the moment. You know. Right.
They'll be right here watching it. Everybody got top of it. This been going on for years. Niggas been out here doing this shit for years.
Oh, okay.
They don't have nothing to do. Why don't they demand that they get a racetrack? See, they worry about the kids a lot, halfway. But what about these adults? They have creativity. They have things to do. And they realize that African Americans, they have to stay busy. They have a mindset of exploring and creating. And see, they want to stifle that to our demise. They use that against us. They put us in jail for that. They don't want us to develop our talents as being creators and everything black people do. They do it better, and they know that. That's why they keep us down like this. And we're too weak, and we have weak leaders that are not demanding this. You say that these people love to do this, you donuts and all this stuff. Why they don't have a place where they could do this? Somewhere they could stay safe and not in the middle of the road, and it could be protected. People can go there and feel safe.
Stop. No. Welcome to the Lou, man. Welcome to the trenches. We don't got no piers. We ain't got no beach, nigga. We gather up at a park, nigga, and have a good time, nigga. What's up?
These are people that is satisfied with their plight in life. They say we don't have no pier. We don't have no beach. But they rather take their money, I got 5 on it, and go get some weed instead of getting their money together and demand that you could build a pier. Make it look good. Have a beach for the kids to go to. somewhere safe that these kids could go there. But look at this, the same one that was talking. Look at this.
You put him on stage, and you had to make sure he couldn't do a certain time.
Why you need a gun? Why you want to be around somebody that has to have a gun? It's just sad. I hate to see our beautiful brothers and sisters that have so much talent and so much to give, and they having all these beautiful kids that are dying in the street. It don't make no sense. Now this is sad.
This program contains graphic images and content some may find disturbing.
Sad. It's really, really sad. And this is just one city out.
We live in Baltimore City amongst greatness. There's so much talent. It's like a gold mine covered with crime. Our kids dream big and they have a lot of skills, but they are being neglected. It's a vicious cycle breeding. And instead of Baltimore growing, it's like our...
She said it, psycho breeding. You have broken people having broken kids. It's got to stop. Why have children that has a 80% chance of being shot and killed in the street? And these are the same people that demand that you get rid of birth control and abortions and all this stuff. You see how we have to deal with ignorance and dumbasses, leaders all around us. Who do they care about? They certainly don't care about these kids that are born into a dysfunctional home or have a good chance of being put in foster care. Can you imagine growing up your whole life in foster care or going from one home to another and then just thrust out into the world at 18?
City is constantly bleeding.
Baltimore. It's fighting to find its soul as it loses souls to a cycle of crime and violence. By virtue of being born in one of America's most dangerous cities, some are doomed before they have a chance to live. Amani Grossman is one of those stories. Amani Grossman is Latresa Scaff's son. Latresa raised a family along Bonaparte Avenue in East Baltimore. It may not have been sweet, but it was home.
They've seen people get beat up real bad. You know, like I said, bodies. They hear gunshots. They couldn't go outside and play.
No place for a child to grow up.
Amani was a great kid. He was an awesome kid. He was like the life of the family gatherings. Make everybody laugh.
But that brightness began to fade as a teen.
He would talk about the violence every day.
But you're all alone.
Like things like,
even though it's thousands,
city, I'ma die. I know I'ma die.
Despite
families
those
like
fears,
that,
Amani
you're
remained
still all alone.
resilient. That's Amani making a game-winning shot in a
you're
middle
still
school
all
game.
alone, fighting against this.
Being one of those games where everyone rushes off the court and everyone's cheering and all that stuff. So that's
unnatural dysfunction and
when I think of Amani,
dysfunctional
that's the first memory that I have.
city.
Pablo Korapecki coached Amani in middle school.
Only time you get together is at funeral
Away from
or
school, though, Amani
memorial,
threats and unshakable
balloon releases,
At 13,
or
his
another
life
child
was
get
threatened
murdered.
at night
Then
club.
you come
He
together.
never
But after
shook
that,
when he
you're right back
while
in your
shooting
separate
dice
world,
with along his
fighting
block. Amani
against
described to
this
doctors how
evil
a guy
regime
came up
that's
and
going
blew another
only
guy's
in
brains
place
out. Doctors
to
would
keep
later
you down.
diagnose Imani with PTSD. Imani's evaluation followed one of his 3 arrests by the age of 17. The cases involved an armed robbery, a car, and a sex offense. Prosecutors dropped the charges in all but one case. Imani pleaded guilty to the sex offense. A judge sentenced him to 10 years but suspended 9 of them. One of his childhood friends was a co-defendant in that case.
That's what kept drawing.
And we're not talking about it enough, that this justice system is it needs to be, overall, it needs to be changed. All that they're going by, it needs to be changed. The people that is running this justice system is not doing it to keep us safe. He was sentenced 10 years and suspended 9. And they just let him go like that? They are letting these criminals, these broken, weak people, back on the street, not in their neighborhood. They know what they're doing. It's like letting that animal back out into the jungle.
Him back into the city, his childhood friends.
So Latrice sent Imani to Virginia to earn his high school diploma.
While he was away in school, he lost maybe like 3 of his close friends to gun violence. So that's when I got nervous about him coming back to Baltimore.
Latrice moved out of the city and into the county in the hopes of providing a safer life for her family.
He didn't like it out here. He said it was nothing to do. He was bored.
By 2006.
Okay. That's their favorite words. Nothing to do, is bored. And that is a problem. But see, what they fail to realize, you got plenty of time to do what you want to do once you get grown and gone and on your own. Right now, you are doing what a child, young adult, is supposed to be doing. And that's learning how to live the rest of your life, a responsible life, because you're going to be an adult longer than you're going to be a child. And where they mess up at, when they are fulfilling their government duty to put things in place for kids to do, that's what we pay our tax dollars for. They fail to realize that some of that money needs to go to individual families so their kids can explore, take trips, get stuff that they normally wouldn't get because the parents can't afford it. Some of these kids never been to the country, never traveled outside the country, never seen farm animals, never experienced going out in the woods, camping. Some of that money should be going towards families individually. That's important. Their kids do it. But they feel like, well, that's too bad. You know, you can't do it, that's too bad.
16, Imani was back in Baltimore with the same childhood friend charged in that sex offense case. This video shows them together on September 14th. Seconds later, shots rang out. Imani's childhood friend stood by and watched as he was murdered.
I felt it. It was horrible. This is the most pain I ever endured in life.
It made you look in the mirror a little bit and figure out, like, where are we kind of failing on?
Imani's bedroom is just as he left it that day.
I just hug the pillow sometimes because I can still smile. Imagine him going out of state to college, playing professional basketball.
The same picture now hangs in the gym at Imani's middle school behind the team's bench.
He's very much alive. In different places I've written down his name and things like that. So, you know, whenever I'm having a bad day, you might open the book in your notebook and you kind of see him, see his name there, and you kind of remember that there's a reason why we're here, and there's a reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Amani was murdered 216 in the year 2016. Outside of family and close friends, he's been reduced to a number. More than 300 people each year faced violent death since 2015.
We count more homicides than high school graduates, and that's a statistic. A school system that doesn't care if your kids pass or fail, lack of knowledge, no education, means our kids can end up in jail.
I don't want him to end up like his brothers who are statistics to Baltimore.
Patrice Lovett is a mother of 6. She has 2 sons in jail and is desperately trying to keep her teenage son on the right track.
I saw him having problems, staying out late, coming in, you know, because it's...
So how does a once thriving city get to the point where human life has no value? It's a very simple question, but like so many in life, there are no simple answers. Many point to the riots after the death of Freddie Gray.
I've been recording.
Now this makes me so mad. I bring this up all the time. When I heard about this Freddie Gray, I was like, what the hell? We weak. That wouldn't have never happened if the Black Panthers was in their heyday. No way in the world they would have been able to get this injured man in the back of that paddy wagon. And we didn't follow that paddy wagon. And we didn't make sure. See, that's what. And they wait till after the fact. This man is already dead. What the fuck? Why are they now? You can't. He's gone. You should have been rioting right then and there. But what, they got to go back and, smoke some weed, drink some liquor to get all psyched up. To do what?
Freddie Gray was known to law enforcement after drug arrests dating back to 2007. The 25-year-old African-American died in police custody, sparking outrage.
We need you guys to back up, sir.
However, the riots are not an answer, more likely a symptom of a deep-seated mistrust in a community.
It's for your safety, not our safety, your safety.
Okay, that stupid statement right there. What you gonna do? You couldn't do nothing while the crime was going on. While they sit up there, putting this injured man in the back of a paddy wagon, not in a ambulance. And then y'all gonna get attitude when he dies? That's what I'm saying. We have become weak little. When you see those mice, that's what we have become. We ain't men and women no more. We are little mices that run when things get bad and then want to jump out when we get together and get a little liquid courage in us. And disguise it to commit crime, rioting, going in buildings, taking stuff. We're nobody willing to lose their life to help Freddie Gray, but they willing to lose their life to go out there and create mayhem.
Corruption runs deep in Baltimore. It's the years of corruption in the police department that fueled mistrust with the community. The notorious Flex Squad was disbanded in 2006 after accusations of rape, drug possession, and
Chicago some stories never make it past alleyways, where some names that go long after the chalk fades. And on the night of March 6, 2017, the streets knew well. Kamari, Bobo.
They put a criminal in department. You supposed to be over the military, the criminal justice, and they hire a criminal to do that. And now they want to talk mess about all these little bitty crimes. This is not a country of law and order. This is a country of your time is up. And it's going to have some heads rolling.
Belmont stepped out of Cook County Jail, finally a free man. But freedom in Chicago is fragile, and for Bob O, it lasted minutes. Tonight, we retrace the footsteps of a young man whose past was still waiting for him right outside the jailhouse doors. Just before midnight, Bob O walked out after posting bond on a robbery charge. He had beaten a bigger case just weeks earlier, a murder charge dropped for violating the 120-day speedy trial rule. For most people, this would be a second chance, a new start, but the streets weren't celebrating Bob O's return. They were watching. He slid into a car with two others, headed into the cold March night. No one in that vehicle realized they were being hunted or that the hunters were already close. To understand why this night unfolded the way it did, you have to understand who Bob O was. To some, he was just another name in the system. To others, he was a feared hitter, linked to two killings, Big Freaky in 2011. He was a member of Drek's side, and in 2012, Bob O allegedly killed Lil Chief from their rivals 051 Young Money. His reputation wasn't built on rumors, it was earned in blood, and reputations like that don't fade, they wait, sometimes for years. As Bob O's car rolled less than a mile from the jail, something unsettling happened in the quiet. A white SUV appeared, not speeding, not swerving, just syncing its movement with theirs. Almost like it already knew where Bob O would be. Inside the SUV, police sources believe sat members of 051 Young Money. Old conflicts don't die in Chicago, they circle back, and this one had perfect timing.
Serious questions tonight for the Cook County State's Attorney. How did prosecutors miss a deadline to bring a defendant to trial?
Murder charges had to be dropped, and the 23-year-old man was released from county jail, only to be shot to death moments later. Here's CBS 2's Jim Williams.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. You got two idiots meet, the criminal and the Justice Department. Two idiots meeting, and this is what happened. How in the heck did this happen? Incompetent people. That's who they hire. They're not hiring people that's competent and that know what they're doing and that is fair and justice. They are hiring people that has the most money and look good and can tell the most lies. All we got to do is look at who's the president right now. And that's what's happening all over. They are doing nothing but hiring incompetent people, and we, the citizens, have to suffer for it.
As Kamari Belmont sat in Cook County Jail charged with murder, the clock started running.
We want accused people, we want victims, witnesses, everybody. We want them to have a speedy trial.
Prosecutors had 120 days to bring Belmont to trial under the state's speedy trial statute. They didn't get it done and had to drop the murder charges. Michael Johnson was Belmont's attorney.
In all my years, and I've handled hundreds of murder cases, the first time this has ever happened to me.
CBS 2's legal analyst Irv Miller was a supervisor in the state's attorney's office.
When you were in the state's attorney's office, what would have happened?
Whoever didn't count the days would have been fired.
State's attorney Kim Fox's spokesperson blamed her predecessor, Anita Alvarez's administration. An error occurred in the handling of this case by the prior administration. Going forward, we are working to improve training protocols for our prosecutors to prevent such errors. Minutes after Belmont posted bond Monday night and left county jail, someone in this SUV fired shots at the 23-year-old. He didn't make it to the hospital.
What was your reaction when you found out he had been shot to death?
I was absolutely stunned and felt very bad for his family.
Now, I got this. I'm not going to look at
crime with violence. But one killer stands out.
Craziest and most violent mob bosses in history.
Chosen by Lucky Luciano to violently enforce the modern mafia.
They were looking at absolute naked homicidal power.
As the head of Murder Incorporated, he handpicked some of the worst killers imaginable. But Anastasia took violence to another level.
His brutality knew no bounds. He killed more people than some serial killers.
Soon, no one is safe, even mob bosses.
Nothing makes you more nervous than to be around a psychopath.
And they have no choice but to save themselves.
The guy who had lived by the gun now died by the gun.
This is the brutal story of Albert Anastasia.
These people, they got money. They know judges. They could do all the crime they want and get a little bit of time. Take Al Capone, the one that idiot in office loves to bring up. He don't say his name no more, but all that he did, they had to get him on tax evasion because he knew people. He was white. He had good lawyers. But these petty ass young bucks, weak ass criminals think they gangster. They just, all they doing is lining up to go to prison. That's all they doing. Oh, my turn. It's my turn. Now I'm gonna end with this video.
This jury of our community on August 27th found each of you guilty. Uber driver, all with gun specifications.
Okay.